Thanksgiving, a time for gratitude, family bonds, and bountiful feasts. But in the quiet suburbs of Knoxville, Tennessee, one family's holiday gathering would end not with laughter and leftovers, but with blood, betrayal, and breaths that faded into silence. This is the story of Joel and Lisa Guy, a loving couple whose generosity knew no bounds, and the son who repaid them with unimaginable horror. No one saw it coming. Or did they? As we peel back the layers of this chilling tale, remember, sometimes the deadliest threats sit right across the dinner table, smiling through the stuffing. It all began in the unassuming world of middle-class America, where appearances often mask deeper fractures. Joel Michael Guy Sr., born in 1955, was a man of quiet determination. A pipeline engineer by trade, he had built a life of stability after serving in the military. His wife, Lisa Madeira Guy, born in 1961, was the heart of the home, a dedicated payroll administrator at Jacobs Engineering, known for her kindness and unwavering support for her family. Together, they raised 4 children in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, before relocating to Knoxville in 2007 for Joel Sr.'s job. Their home on Golden View Lane was a sprawling 2-story affair, complete with a basement gym and plenty of space for gatherings. It was the kind of house that screamed American dream, manicured lawn, holiday decorations, and a kitchen that always smelled of home-cooked meals. But beneath the surface, tension simmered. The Guys had 3 daughters from previous relationships, blended seamlessly into a loving unit, and 1 son together, Joel Michael Guy Jr., born in 1988. Junior, as he was sometimes called, was the baby of the family. From a young age, he showed promise, intelligent, perhaps even brilliant in academics. He pursued degrees in plastics engineering, microbiology, and even dabbled in philosophy. Yet, year after year, he remained a perpetual student, amassing credits but never quite graduating. By 2016, at 28 years old, he was still living off his parents' dime in a rundown apartment in Baton Rouge, with no job, no prospects, and mounting debts from his endless education. His parents footed the bill for everything: rent, tuition, even groceries. Lisa, ever the nurturer, worried about him constantly. Joel Sr., more pragmatic, began to question if their support was enabling rather than helping. As Thanksgiving 2016 approached, the family planned a gathering at the Knoxville home. The daughters, Angela, Shandiz, and Michelle, would join with their partners and children. It was meant to be a joyous reunion, filled with turkey, pies, and football on TV. But whispers of change hung in the air. Unbeknownst to Junior, his parents had decided it was time to cut the financial cord. They planned to sell their home, retire to a rural property they owned in Segoinsville, Tennessee, and stop funding his lifestyle. Lisa had confided in co-workers about her concerns. He's smart, but he just won't grow up. Joel Sr. had even mentioned to friends that Junior needed to stand on his own 2 feet. Little did they know, this decision would ignite a fuse that had been smoldering for years. The air was thick with the aroma of roasted turkey, sage stuffing, and pumpkin pie as the Guy family assembled. Joel Sr. carved the bird with precision, his military background evident in every steady slice. Lisa bustled about, ensuring everyone's plate was piled high. The daughters chatted animatedly, sharing stories of their lives: Angela's nursing career, Shandi's family adventures, Michelle's latest endeavors. Grandchildren scampered underfoot, adding to the chaos. And there was Junior, seated at the end of the table, quiet, observant. He smiled politely, but his eyes darted, calculating, perhaps? No one noticed the notebook he had stashed in his backpack upstairs, filled with scribbled plans that would soon turn fantasy into nightmare. Dinner conversation flowed easily at first. "Pass the gravy," someone quipped. Laughter erupted over old family anecdotes. But as the meal wound down, the parents broached the topic gently. "We've been thinking about retiring," Joel Sr. said, his voice steady. "Selling the house, moving to the land in Segoinsville." Lisa nodded, adding, "It'll be a fresh start for all of us." Junior's fork paused midair. His face remained neutral, but inside, rage bubbled. He knew what this meant: no more handouts. No more easy life. The betrayal in his mind was theirs, not his. As the family cleared plates and packed leftovers into Tupperware, turkey sandwiches for the road, pie slices wrapped in foil, the atmosphere shifted subtly. Hugs were exchanged, goodbyes said. The daughters departed, leaving Junior alone with his parents for what they thought would be a quiet weekend wrap-up. Friday, November 25th, dawned crisp and clear. The house still hummed with holiday remnants, half-eaten pies on the counter, leftovers in the fridge. Joel Sr. and Lisa planned a relaxed day, maybe some Black Friday shopping online, a walk in the neighborhood. Junior, however, had other plans. He had arrived prepared, his car loaded with supplies purchased in advance. Plastic sheeting, bleach, acid from a hardware store. In his notebook, later discovered by police, he had outlined a meticulous scheme. Get killing knives, quiet, multiple. Douse dead bodies plus plastic in tub, destroy in solution. Flush chunks down toilet, turn leftovers into mushy matter. It was a blueprint for horror, written in his own hand, devoid of emotion. As the day progressed, tension built like a storm cloud. Junior helped with chores, but his movements were deliberate, watchful. Lisa, sensing something off, asked if he was okay. "Fine, Mum," he replied, his voice flat. Joel Sr. suggested they discuss finances later. Junior nodded, but his mind raced. By evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, the house grew quiet. The parents retired to the living room, perhaps watching TV, unaware that their son was upstairs, sharpening knives, laying out tarps. The betrayal was set in motion, not a spur-of-the-moment snap, but a cold, calculated act born of entitlement and greed. Saturday, November 26th, the day the world changed. The exact timeline remains shrouded in forensic reconstruction, but pieced together from evidence, it's a tale of sudden violence. Around mid-morning, as Lisa was in the kitchen reheating leftovers, turkey hash, perhaps, Junior struck. He approached from behind, a knife in hand, stabbing her repeatedly in the neck and chest. Blood sprayed across the counter, mingling with cranberry sauce stains. Lisa's gasps echoed through the house, her last breaths ragged, desperate. She fought, but at 55, she was no match for her son's fury. Hearing the commotion, Joel Sr. rushed in from the basement gym. A former soldier, he put up a fierce struggle, grappling with Junior in the hallway. Stab wounds riddled his body, over 40 in total between the couple. Blood soaked the carpets, walls splattered like a macabre painting. Junior, fueled by adrenaline and malice, overpowered his father, slashing and stabbing until the house fell silent. The air reeked of copper and death. Panting, covered in gore, Junior dragged the bodies upstairs to the master bathroom, a room meant for relaxation, now a slaughterhouse. What followed was a descent into depravity that defies comprehension. Over the next 48 hours, Junior dismembered his parents with surgical precision. Using knives, saws, and even a meat cleaver, he severed limbs, heads, torsos. He placed parts in plastic bins filled with a homemade acid solution, muriatic acid mixed with drain cleaner, hoping to dissolve the evidence. The bathroom became a diabolical stew, as prosecutors later described, with flesh bubbling and fumes filling the air. Junior worked methodically, following his notebook, turn up thermostat to hide decomp. He even cooked a meal amid the chaos, reheating turkey leftovers as if nothing had happened. The irony is chilling. Last breaths mingled with the scent of holiday remnants. But mistakes crept in. The acid burned his hands, leaving wounds. Blood trails led everywhere. Exhausted, he packed his car with valuables, guns, cash, his parents' credit cards, and fled back to Baton Rouge late Sunday. The house, thermostat cranked to 93 degrees, began to fester. Lisa's absence from work raised alarms. Her boss at Jacobs Engineering, concerned after no call-in, contacted a welfare check. Knox County Sheriff's Deputy Sandy Campbell arrived at Golden View Lane around noon. The door was unlocked, unusual. Stepping inside, she was hit by a wall of heat and a putrid odor. Like death, she later testified. Bloodstains on the floor, walls smeared red. Upstairs, the bathroom door ajar revealed the nightmare. Bins of dissolving body parts, a severed head in one, limbs in another. Joel Sr.'s hands, cut off at the wrists, floated in liquid. Lisa's torso bobbed grotesquely. The scene was so horrific that seasoned officers retched. Word spread quickly. Neighbors whispered in shock. They were such nice people. The daughters, notified, collapsed in grief. How could he? Angela sobbed in interviews. The betrayal cut deep, not just murder, but desecration. Knox County investigators, led by Lieutenant Brian Moran, pieced it together swiftly. Blood evidence showed the struggle. Surveillance from stores traced Junior's purchases, acid from Lowe's, tarps from Walmart. His car, stopped en route back to Knoxville, he'd turned around, perhaps to finish the job, yielded damning items, bandaged hands, a notebook detailing the plan. Kill him with the knife. Clean his hand at the sink, it read. Motive emerged. Parents' life insurance policies worth $500,000, assets he stood to inherit. Bank records showed his desperation, overdrawn accounts, pleas for money. Junior's arrest was anticlimactic. Pulled over near campus in Baton Rouge, he surrendered without resistance. In custody, he remained stoic, requesting a lawyer. No remorse, no tears. Psychologists later noted his flat affect, possible antisocial traits, but he was deemed competent. The trial began September 28, 2020, in Knox County Criminal Court, Judge Steve Sword presiding. Prosecutor Leslie Nashios painted a vivid picture. This wasn't rage. It was premeditated evil. Opening statements gripped the jury. Descriptions of the House of Horrors left some pale. Crime scene photos flashed on screens, blurred but impactful. Deputy Campbell recounted her discovery, voice cracking. I've never seen anything like it. Forensic experts detailed wounds. Lisa stabbed 31 times, Joel Sr. 42. Acid burns on remains showed dissolution attempts. Junior's notebook, entered as evidence, was read aloud. Get her to sleep, kill with knife to throat/jugular. Gasps filled the room. Family testified. Daughters wept, describing a normal Thanksgiving. Angela revealed Junior's odd behavior, isolated, phone-obsessed. Financial records showed parents' support, $144,000 in tuition alone. Defense attorney John Boucher argued diminished capacity, Junior's isolation, possible mental health issues. But no insanity plea, evidence was overwhelming. Nashios thundered, he turned his parents into leftovers. Defense pleaded mercy. Jury deliberated mere hours, returning guilty on all counts. 2 first-degree murders, abuse of corpse. October 13, 2020. Life without parole, consecutive. Judge Sword, the most horrific murder case I've seen. Junior, emotionless, stared ahead. Today, in 2025, the Golden View Lane house stands remodeled, sold to new owners oblivious to its past. The daughters rebuild lives shattered by betrayal. Junior rots in prison, appealing fruitlessly. This story reminds us, family bonds can fray, and entitlement can kill. As you gather for your own Thanksgiving, cherish the moments, but watch the shadows. For in the leftovers of life, last breaths can come without warning.
Welcome to Hidden Files, where every crime has a story, and every story hides the truth.